Welcome to today's reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit. We'll be beginning chapter 9 from the Madhya Lila. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamam vande Shri Gurum Din Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tatsat. Chapter 9. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahāprabhu's travels to the holy places. A summary of the 9th chapter is given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. After leaving Vidyanagar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited such places of pilgrimage as Gautami Ganga, Mallikarjun, Ahoval Narasimha, Siddhavata, Skandakshetra, Trimatha, Vriddhakashi, Bodhasthana, Tirupati, Tirumala, Pana Nrsimha, Shiva Kanchi, Vishnu Kanchi, Trikalahasti, Vriddha Kola, Shiyali Bhairavi, the Kaveri River, and Kumbhakaran Kapal. That is the forehead of the Kumbhakaran. Kapal means the forehead. Finally, the Lord went to Sriranga Kshetra, where he converted a Brahman named Venkat Bhatta, who, along with his family, took up devotional service to Krishna. After leaving Sriranga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reached Rishabh Parvat, where he met Paramananda Puri, who later arrived at Jagannath Puri. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then proceeded further, arriving at Setu Bandha Rameshwar. At Sri Shaila Parvat, the Lord met Lord Shiva and his wife Durga in the dress of a Brahman and Brahmani. From there he went to Kamakoshti Puri and later arrived at southern Mathura. A Brahman devotee of Lord Ramchandra talked with him. Then the Lord took his bath in the river Kritmala, and on the hill known as Mahendra Shail, the Lord saw Parshuram. Then the Lord went to Setubandh and took his bath at Dhanush Tirth. He also visited Rameshwar, where he collected some papers connected with Sita Devi, whose illusory form had been kidnapped by Ravan. The Lord next visited the places known as Pandedesha, the Tamraparni River, Naya Tripati, Chia Ratal, Tilakanchi, Gajendra Mokshana, Panagadi, Chamta Pura, Sri Vaikuntha, Malay Parvat, and Kanyakumari. The Lord then confronted the Bhattaharis at Malar Desh and saved Kala Krishnadas from their clutches. The Lord also collected the Brahma Samhita 5th chapter on the banks of the Payasvini river. He then visited Payasvini, Shringaver, Puri, Matha, and Matsyatirth. At the village of Udupi, he saw the Gopal deity installed by Sri Madhvacharya. He then defeated the Tattvavadis in Shastric conversation. The Lord next visited Falgu Tirth, Trita Kupa, Panchapsara, Shru, Paraka, and Kolapura. At Pandarpura, the Lord received news from Srirangapuri that Shankaracharya Vishwarup had disappeared there. He then went to the banks of the Krishna Venuva river, where he collected from among the Vaishnava Brahmins a book written by Bilumangal Thakur, Shri Krishna Karnamrita. The Lord then visited the Tapi river, Mahishmati Pura, the Narmada river, and Rishyamukh Parvat. He entered Dandakaranya and liberated 7 palm trees. From there he visited a place known as Pampa Sarovar and visited Panchavati, Nasik, Brahmagiri, and also the source of the Godavari river, the Kushavarta. Thus the Lord visited almost all the holy places in the South India. He finally returned to Jagannath Puri by taking the same route after visiting Vidyanagar again. Text 1. Nana Mata Graha Grastan Dakshinatya Janadvipan Kriparina Vimuchaitan Gaurash Chakre Savaishvanvan. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted the inhabitants of South India. These people were as strong as elephants, but they were in the clutches of the crocodiles of various philosophies, such as the Buddhist, Jain, and Mayavad philosophies. With his disc of mercy, The Lord delivered them all by converting them into Vaishnavas, the devotees of the Lord. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converting the people of South India into Vaishnavas is compared herein to Lord Vishnu's delivering Gajendra, the elephant, from the attack of a crocodile. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited southern India, almost all the residents were within the jaws of the crocodiles of Buddhist, Jain and Mayavad philosophy. Here Kaviraj Goswami states that although these people were as strong as elephants, they were almost in the clutches of death because they were being attacked by the crocodiles of various philosophies. However, just as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the form of Vishnu, saved the elephant Gajendra from the clutches of a crocodile, so he saved all the people of South India from the clutches of various philosophies by converting them into Vaishnavas. Text number 2. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandashaya, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Sri Advaita Prabhu, and all glories to all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Text number 3. Dakshin Gamana Prabhura Ati Vilakshana Sahasra Sahasra Tirtha Kaila Darshana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tour of South India was certainly very extraordinary because he visited many thousands of places of pilgrimage there. Text number 4. Sai Saba Tirtha Sparshi Mahatirtha Kaila Sai Chale Sai Deshera Loka Nistarila. On the plea of visiting all these holy places, the Lord converted many thousands of residents and thus delivered them simply by touching the holy places. He made them into great places of pilgrimage. Purport: it is said, Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani. A tirth or holy place is a place where great saintly personalities visit or reside. Although the holy places were already places of pilgrimage, they were all purified by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's visit. Many people go to these holy places and leave their sinful activities there, thus becoming free from contamination. When these contaminations pile up, they are counteracted by the visit of great personalities like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his strict followers. Many kind of patients come to a hospital which may be infected by many type of diseases. Actually, the hospital is always infected, but the expert physician keeps the hospital sterilized by his expert presence and management. Similarly, places of pilgrimage are always infected by the sins left by the sinners who go there. But when a personality like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visits such a place, all contaminations, they vanish. Text number 5. Sai Saba Tirthera Krama Kahite Napari Dakshin Vame Tirtha Gaman Haya Fera Feri. I cannot chronologically record all the places of pilgrimage visited by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I can only summarize everything by saying that the Lord visited all holy places right and left, coming and going. So Fera Feri in Bengali is going and coming back. Text number 6. At'ev Nama Matra Kariye Ganana Kahite Na Pari Tara Yatha Anukrama. At'ev is same as Hindi in Bengali as well. At'ev means therefore. Translation: because it is impossible for me to record all these places in chronological order, I will simply make a token gesture of recording them. Text number 7. Purvavat pathe yaite ye paya darshana ye grame yaya se gramera yata jana. Sabe Vaishnav haya kahe Krishna Hari anya gram nistarye se Vaishnav kari. As previously stated, all the residents of the villages visited by Lord Chaitanya became Vaishnavas and began to chant Hari and Krishna. In this way, in all the villages visited by the Lord, everyone became a Vaishnav, a devotee. Purport: the holy names of Krishna and Hari, or the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, are so spiritually powerful that even today, as our preachers go to remote parts of the world, people immediately begin chanting Hare Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the supreme personality of Godhead himself. Therefore, cannot be anyone who can compare to him or his potencies. However, because we are following in his footsteps and are also chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the effect is almost as potent as during the time of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Our preachers mainly belong to European and American countries, yet by the grace of Lord Chaitanya, they have tremendous success. Wherever they go to open branches, indeed, everywhere people are very seriously chanting the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Verse number 9. Dakshin Deshara Lok Anek Prakara Keha Jnani Keha Karmi Pashandi Apar. Pashandi are the non-devotees. In South India, there were many types of people. Some were philosophical speculators, and some were fruitive workers. But in any case, there were innumerable non-devotees. Verse number 10. Say Saba Lok Prabhura Darshan Prabhave Nij Nij Mata Chadi Haila Vaishnave. By the influence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these people abandoned their own opinions and became Vaishnavas, devotees of Krishna. So we can see that before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to South India, there were a lot of non-devotees and confused people who were following all different philosophies, and Mahaprabhu made them all into Vaishnavas and devotees of Vishnu. Verse number 11. Vaishnavera Madhya Rama Upasak Sabha Kahe Tatvavadi Kahe Haya Shri Vaishnava. At the time, all the South Indian Vaishnavas were worshippers of Lord Ramchandra. Some were Tatvavadis and some were followers of Ramanacharya. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, this is the purport now, points out that the word Tatvavadi refers to the followers of Srila Madhvacharya to distinguish his disciplic succession from the Mayavadi followers of Shankaracharya. Srila Madhvacharya named his party the Tatvavadis. Impersonal monists were always attacked by these Tatvavadis who attempt to defeat their philosophy of impersonalism. Generally, they establish the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, the disciplic succession of Madhvacharya is known as Brahma Vaishnav sect. That is a sect coming down from Lord Brahma. Consequently, the Tatvavadis or the followers of Madhvacharya do not accept the incident of Lord Brahma's illusion, which is recorded in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Madhvacharya has purposefully avoided commenting on that portion of Srimad Bhagavatam in which Brahma Mohan, the illusion of Lord Brahma, is mentioned. Srila Madhvendra Puri was one of the acharyas in the Tattvavad disciplic succession, and he established the ultimate goal of transcendentalism to be attainment of pure devotional service, love of Godhead. Those Vaishnavas belonging to the Gaudiya Sampradaya, the disciplic succession following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, are distinct from the Tattvavadis. Although they belong to the same Tattvavad Sampradaya, the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are therefore known as Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So it's clearly stated there that the disciplic succession, which is that is the Gaudiya Sampradaya, which are the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, are distinct from the Tattvavadis. So although they belong to the same Tattva Sampradaya, the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are therefore known as Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Because Madhvacharya named his party the Tattvavadis. The word Pashandi refers to those who are opposed to pure devotional service. In particular, those are the Mayavadis, the impersonalists. The definition of Pashandi is given in the Hari Bhakti Vilas 1.73, wherein it is stated, Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Devateh Samat Vaineva Viksheta Sa Pashandi Bhaved Dhruvam. A Pashandi is one who thinks that the Supreme Lord Narayan, the personality of Godhead, is on the same level with the demigods headed by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. A devotee never considers Lord Narayan to be on the same platform with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. The Madhvacharya Sampradaya and the Ramanujacharya Sampradaya are mainly worshippers of Lord Ramchandra, although the Sri Vaishnavas are supposed to be worshippers of Lord Narayan and Lakshmi, and the Tattvavadis are supposed to be the worshippers of Lord Krishna. At present, in most of the monasteries belonging to the Madhva Sampradaya, Lord Ramchandra is worshipped. In the book known as Adhyatma Ramayana, there are statements in chapters 12 to 15 about worshipping the deities of Sri Ramchandra and Sita. There it is stated that during Lord Ramchandra's time, there was a Brahman who took a vow to fast until he saw Lord Ramchandra. Sometimes, due to business, Lord Ramchandra was absent from his capital for a full week and could not be seen by the citizens during that time. Because of his vow, the Brahman could not take even a drop of water during that week. Later, after 8 or 9 days, when Brahmana could see Lord Ramchandra personally, he would break his fast. Upon observing the Brahmana's rigid vow, Lord Sri Ramchandra ordered his younger brother Lakshman to deliver a pair of Sitaram deities to the Brahmana. The Brahman received the deities from Sri Lakshmanji and worshipped them faithfully as long as he lived. At the time of his death, he delivered the deities to Sri Hanumanji, who for many years hung them around his neck and served them with all devotion. After many years, when Hanumanji departed on the hill known as Gandhamadan, he delivered the deities to Bhimsen, one of the Pandavas, and Bhimsen brought them to his palace, where he kept them very carefully. The last king of the Pandavas, Kshemakanta, worshipped the deities in that palace. Later, the same deities were kept in the custody of the king of Orissa, known as Gajpatis. One of the acharyas, known as Narhari Tirtha, who was in the disciplic succession of Madhvacharya, received these deities from the king of Orissa. It may be noted that these particular deities of Ram and Sita have been worshipped from the time of King Ikshvaku. Indeed, they were worshipped by the royal princes even before the appearance of Lord Ramchandra. Later, during Lord Ramchandra's presence, the deities were worshipped by Lakshman. It is said that just 3 months before his disappearance, Sri Madhvacharya received these deities and installed them in the Udupi temple. Since then, the deities have been worshipped by Madhvacharya Sampradaya at that monastery. As far as Sri Vaishnavas are concerned, beginning with Ramanujacharya, they also worship deities of Sitaram. Sitaram deities are also being worshipped in Tirupati and other places. From Sri Ramanujacharya Sampradaya, there is another branch known as Ramanandi or Ramat, and the followers of that branch are also worship deities of Sitaram very religiously. The Ramanuja Sampradaya Vaishnavas prefer the worship of Lord Ramchandra to that of Radha Krishna. So we'll continue our reading from verse number 12 next time. Thank you for joining. Hare Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.